I can announce a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas.
U.S. President Joe Biden, in the final days of his presidency, confirmed the successful negotiation of a ceasefire in Gaza after more than 15 months of bloodshed.
The deal is structured in 3 phases. Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, a withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. In exchange, Israel released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners.
The U.S. and fellow mediator Qatar said the ceasefire would take effect on Sunday. It comes after months of on and off negotiations by Egyptian and Qatari mediators, with the backing of the United States. At a news conference in Doha, Qatar's prime minister said the deal includes the release of 33 Israeli hostages, including all women, children, and men over 50 years old. Israel's acceptance of the deal will not be official until it is approved by the country's security cabinet and government. An Israeli official said votes were slated for Thursday. On the streets of Tel Aviv and in Khan Yunis, Israelis and Palestinians both celebrated the news.
We are happy with this victory because the Palestinian people simply want their freedom. Freedom for the Palestinian people. We don't want anything but freedom and to live with dignity without occupation.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the priority now must be on getting humanitarian aid into Gaza.
The humanitarian situation is at catastrophic levels, and I call on all parties to facilitate the rapid, unhindered and safe humanitarian relief for all civilians in need.
On October 7, 2023, Hamas-led gunmen broke through security barriers and burst into Israeli border area communities, killing 1,200 soldiers and civilians and abducting over 250 foreign and Israeli hostages. In response, Israel's air and ground war in Gaza has since killed over 46,000 people, according to Gaza Health Ministry figures. Despite Wednesday's breakthrough, residents and medics said Israeli airstrikes killed several people Wednesday evening in Gaza, just hours after the ceasefire deal was reached.
Our priority now must be to ease the tremendous suffering caused by this conflict. The United Nations stands ready to support the implementation of this deal and scale up the delivery of sustained humanitarian relief to the countless Palestinians who continue to suffer. It is imperative that this ceasefire removes the significant security and political obstacles to delivering aid across Gaza so that we can support a major increase in urgent life-saving humanitarian support. The humanitarian situation is at catastrophic levels, and I call on all parties to facilitate the rapid, unhindered and safe humanitarian relief for all civilians in need.
I can announce a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas. The deal is structured in 3 phases. Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, a withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in Phase 1 as well. And the Vice President and I cannot wait to welcome them home. In exchange, Israel released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. And during Phase 1, the Palestinians can also return to their neighborhoods in all the areas of Gaza. You know, during the next 6 weeks, Israel will negotiate the necessary arrangements to get Phase 2, which is a permanent end of the war. Let me say it again, a permanent end of the war. There are a number of details to negotiate to move from Phase 1 to Phase 2, but the plan says if negotiations take longer than 6 weeks, the ceasefire will continue